Why am I investigating him?
You help us with Briggs, and you write your own ticket back to DC. So take your time. You're in Graceland for the duration.
Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today I'm going to discuss my thoughts and opinions upon the USA television series by the name of Graceland. I'm going to talk about episode 2 titled Guadalajara Dog, and forgive me if I pronounced that title wrong. Anyways, without any further ado, let's go and get to it, shall we? Just so you guys know, major spoilers will be in this review, so if you have not seen the previous episode, go ahead and click ahead and skip the next few minutes where I actually start talking about my opinions on the episode. That way, the plot won't be spoiled for you guys. Otherwise, go ahead and keep watching, right? So pretty much what we have going on in episode 2 of the USA television series by the name of Graceland is we have, of course, our main character, Mike Warren, and then, our other main character, Paul Briggs. And if you watch the pilot episode, we found out at the very end that Mike Warren was actually put in the Graceland house to investigate Paul Briggs. We found out in this episode that we still don't know Paul Briggs very well. Yes, we know about his personality, we know who he is, we know stuff like that, but we don't know much about his past. Something happened in his past, I'm assuming, and that is the reason that Mike Warren was pulled in to investigate Paul Briggs. Mike Warren still does not yet know why he was scheduled there. All he knows is that he was, put in the Graceland house to investigate our main character of Paul Briggs. And like I said, Mike Warren still has no idea what's going on. So in this episode, because of the events that happened in the pilot, Mike Warren is supposedly going to see a psych or a psychiatrist. That way they can evaluate him, make sure, because he just, witnessed, 2 guys being killed, and that's just part, of the regulations, the regulation requirements that the FBI does. Well, what he is actually doing, little does he know, is he is actually going to see his secret case manager, and this case manager is actually asking him, hey, have you found anything else on Paul Briggs? And of course, Paul Briggs still does not yet know, actually, that, Mike Warren is investigating him. Though he does get extremely suspicious in this episode, and I thought it was going to be an underlining theme in the entire series. Like, I didn't think that it was going to come into play this quickly. I thought little hints would be dropped here and there, but it seems that already we're only 2 episodes in. Paul Briggs, at the very, like I said, major spoilers coming up. At the very end of this episode, Paul Briggs aims a gun at Mike Warren's head and says, who are you talking to on the phone? So 2 episodes in, Paul Briggs isn't a dumb guy. He's very smart. He already knows that something fishy is up with Mike Warren's character, and he doesn't know exactly what's going on, but he knows something a little odd, a little strange, a little bizarre is going on with Mike Warren. So, I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was going to be a little underlining theme, and we weren't going to be revealed anything for a few episodes. But it looks like already 2 episodes in, we're already given a little information. So I like how quickly it was, it got me a little more interested than I previously was into the series. But the main gist of this episode is pretty much about Mike Warren, and he is trying to get assigned to a bigger case. And if he gets assigned to a bigger case, his case manager thinks that it will reveal more information about Paul Briggs' mysterious past. So in this episode, Mike Warren is pretty much trying to tell Paul Briggs is like, hey, I don't need to be put on small cases. I need to be put on big cases. So the first 30 minutes is Mike Warren trying to convince Paul Briggs about this, and then about 30 minutes in, he actually, says, okay, we're going to do this big case. So they end up, selling these illegal bullets. He disguises himself as a Marine, and they sell these legal bullets, and then, of course, it leads to the guy that they sold the illegal bullets to being arrested, and that whole thing. And that's pretty much the gist of the episode. And like I said at the end, then we have Paul Briggs aiming the gun and so forth. So the main gist, like I said, is him trying to say, hey, I am good enough to be put on these big cases like you guys are. And of course, he's still trying to adjust to the whole Graceland undercover life. Because at the very beginning of this episode, he almost reveals, he's an FBI, an undercover cop, by chasing a guy who stole a taco or chips, a bag of chips, from the taco stand. So we have that going on also. That's pretty much the main gist of episode 2, titled Guadalajara Dog, for the USA television series by the name of Graceland. Overall, my thoughts and opinions on Graceland, I thought this was a pretty solid episode. If you remember my review on the pilot, I thought it was a very generic pilot, not a lot to offer. It had some solid acting, some solid characters, some funny moments here and there, a solid plot, but overall, it was kind of just your average CSI show with not too much to offer. That was until I saw that last twist at the end, and that's what really got me interested. Well, I have to say episode 2, it improved upon its previous material, and it got a lot better. I can tell you already, the Graceland is one of those shows that it starts off slow, and as the episodes go, it's going to pick up the pace. It's not like, Revolution, where it starts off with all this action and this really cool premise, and the acting's great, and every episode delivers. Graceland is the kind of show, I know 2 completely different series, but, but why I compare them is Revolution, shows like that and the following, stuff like that, they are very fast-paced shows with something happening in every episode. Graceland is a little more slower paced. It takes a little while for things to happen, but I can already tell, I'm 2 episodes in, I'm starting to like the series quite a bit. No, I don't think it's amazing, but I do think it's a pretty decent series where I can tell it's a nice slow burn where things, the plot lines and details and the mysterious things about Paul Briggs are slowly starting to be revealed, so I do like kind of the slow feel. It doesn't. I don't mind that it's kind of a slow feel because it fits the series very nicely. So let's talk about some of the things that I liked about it. My 2 favorite characters, of course, are the 2 main guys, Mike Warren and then Paul Briggs. I think I like Mike Warren's character a little bit more, but Paul Briggs is a pretty interesting guy. I like the whole, mystery behind this series about, we don't know who Paul Briggs actually is. So there's a nice little mystery behind it where we're not given all the information. I like the feel of the episodes. No, they're not amazing, but they are pretty decent. This is one of those series where it's not actually that perfect. We have a few good things and then a few mediocre things. And like I said, the few good things about the series are the characters, and then the mystery behind the show itself. And there are some interesting ways they tell the stories and stuff like that. And like I said, I do like how I thought it was just going to be like a small little underlining theme, but that theme is actually starting to become a lot bigger. So I like how the theme was once again introduced in episode 2, because I didn't want it just to be, I know it's going to be a different crime, every, day of every episode, but I wanted the theme to be a little bigger. So I liked how, he goes and sees the case manager, and I like how the underlining theme is starting to get actually a little bit bigger. One of the things about the show that's kind of a mediocre is just that it has that generic CSI feel that we see on so many other television shows, and it's hard to set apart a show like that. But like I said, one of the things it does is the characters, the feel of the show is a nice slow burn feel, and then of course the underlining theme. That's pretty much my thoughts and opinions on episode 2, titled Guadalajara Dog, for the USA television series by the name of Graceland. Once again, thanks for watching the video by Centipede Geek. As always, Graceland comes on the channel USA every Thursday night, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock for everyone else. Next week's episode is episode 3, titled Heat Run, and it premieres June 20th of 2013. Once again, thanks for watching another video by Centipede Geek. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to that page below, and I'll see you guys later with more videos by Centipede Geek.